Hello viewers and welcome to my new video. In today's video I wanted to talk to you about something that I've recently done, and it's about utilizing new opportunities as they appear, and sometimes sort of to tell you that it's valuable to maybe change your plan sometimes, if your original plan perhaps isn't going to plan, I guess, So recently I've been working on my new song, and I'm in the middle of filming footage for the music video that will accompany the song. Now, what I actually decided to do, I want to have quite a lot of people sort of clapping, doing a clap to the beat in the actual video. So what I decided to do is go to Manchester City Centre and approach some random people. I also tested some of my confidence levels through doing that, to be honest with you, and ask them to do the clapping for me, But what I actually had prepared with me was the track and the beat on my mobile phone. Unfortunately, when I got there, I quickly realized that once I was kind of right in the middle of the of busy kind of hustle and bustle city center, it was actually really loud. So there was like trams passing. There were like people riding bikes or walking, talking, doing all these different things. Skateboarding around me. There were also some buskers there, some people singing, playing guitar, whatever, you name it. It was basically a very, very loud environment. But I thought, well, when I did approach one couple, and I sort of managed to have them do the clap, but it was so quiet. When I actually played the track on my mobile phone, it was so quiet that even when I turned it up, to the fullest, the volume, they still couldn't really hear it. Like they had to actually put it up to the ear to actually be able to hear what was going on. So I tried to guide them sort of with my hand, sort of like count and kind of guide them when the clap was, but it kind of went okay. But after doing that first round, I quickly realized that if I kind of approach other people now with this, and then I try to do the same idea, it's just going to go kind of really bad, not maybe badly, but it's not going to go as smoothly as I wanted it to. So what I decided was kind of like take a walk around on a few streets and just see what I could kind of come up with. Maybe I could find a different place, different sort of like location. Maybe it would be a bit quieter. Maybe I could do it there. But even whilst walking, I actually found like a couple of locations that were a bit quieter. But even when I did that, the volume of the song from a mobile phone, especially at a distance, when I kind of put the phone away, sort of stepped a few steps away from the phone, it was still really quiet. And to be honest, for somebody who doesn't know the song and has never heard it before, it's kind of to explain that like really briefly to them, because they might be in a hurry, they're just like walking past and I just want them to do something for me. I figured out that it just wouldn't work, so I've effectively abandoned that idea on the day, and I'm not saying that I will not return to it, because I still want to have that footage. However, what I was able to do is I actually sat down on a bench and just started observing the scenery around me, just sort of people watch, if you like. I just started kind of looking at, what are the people doing here around me, And what I figured was that there was a group of lads, sort of on bikes, BMXs mainly, some mountain bikes as well, I think. And there was this one particular guy who was doing all these tricks. So effectively he was kind of like, doing like these flips, like 360, degree flips. And he was kind of like jumping on, benches and sort of on the bench, from the bench, doing all these flips in the air and, you name it, right? So when I saw him, I was like, oh wow, this looks really good, you know. And the fact that the song is kind of about, being positive, sort of working, towards your goal, improving yourself, that kind of thing. I thought, well, that really sort of goes along with the theme of the song anyway, and I thought, why wouldn't I approach him and sort of ask him if he wanted to kind of take part in my video? So then I obviously thought, well, how about if I film what's available to me today? So yeah, I talked to him. Actually, his name is Jamie Walsh, and yeah, he's a great BMXer. Definitely the guy has skills, And anyway, so I asked him to do some of those tricks for me so I could film them, and I told him that I would put that in my music video, and he agreed. So he effectively did quite a lot of these tricks. I kind of followed him with my camera, and yeah, that was really good. I thought that went really well. So that way I gathered some footage for my video, which wasn't what I originally planned, but I think it will be actually great, to be honest, and I think it will fit the video perfectly. So when I finished doing that, and this is also about sort of networking, meeting people, talking to new people and things like that, there was another guy nearby on the sort of same square who was busking, and he was playing his guitar, and he was actually a very, very good guitarist, something I know. And I spotted him, I'm like, oh wow, this guy can shred, And it was really interesting because he actually had an acoustic guitar on him, with like a cutout, so it's like one of these sort of acoustic electric guitars that sort of has a bit of a cutout so that you can sort of reach, further frets on it, So it's like a bit of a, something in between the, your standard acoustic guitar and then your kind of electric guitar. But anyway, he was kind of shredding on that guitar, like playing really fast licks and things like that, and I thought, wow, the guy is really good. So I sat down, filmed a little bit of him playing, basically, and then kind of, gave him some change. I only had some like small change on me anyway. I gave him some change, and I just told him that I thought that he was good. Kind of returned to my bench, still kind of watching him play, and then he kind of approached me, asked me to kind of if I could mind his gear, because he had quite a lot of stuff with him. He had like a little sort of amp. He had like one pedal board, but he also had a multi effect on top of that, and then some other bits and bobs, around. So he says, oh, I just need to go to use some facilities. There's a toilet around the corner. So could you just mind my stuff whilst I do that? Because obviously I can't carry it with me. I said, yeah, of course, And then anyway, I told him I was a guitarist myself, and so anyway, he went, came back, and we started chatting, and he, it turned out actually that. His name actually, just to tell you as well, is Zach Rogers. Okay, so he's got his own YouTube channel as well, and he does a lot of busking around Manchester. But he also plays banjo, I think it is that he plays. He plays banjo, but he plays guitar as well. So it depends like on which day he goes busking, Anyway, it was really interesting. Turns out that he's sort of. Part of his family are Polish as well, and like it was kind of a very interesting conversation that we had. And he's been to Poland, to many sort of cities and towns, and knows Poland really well. So yeah, that was interesting in itself. But we spoke about playing gigs. He was in quite a few bands in the past. Also plays his solo stuff. Has performed in many venues and things like that. Has done some touring both in the UK and in Europe, so yeah, it was very good. So again, I asked him effectively if he was okay if I would use that footage, that I filmed him, that basically in my video. Again, another thing that I felt would be really cool, and he said yes. Of course, yeah. As long as you can give me that footage so I can use it as well, it's like you're welcome to use it basically. And then there was another group of lads that appeared as I was just finishing talking to Zach, the guitarist. And these were some guys who were kind of like playing football, but they were actually doing tricks with the football. One of them was called Calvin, and I asked him, because he seemed to be like the main guy who was doing the tricks, if I could film him again for my music video, right? So he agreed, and he did some like really cool tricks, like sort of kicking the ball and like sort of jumping, around the ball and things like that, So I figured, it was, why won't I use that? I will have some great footage. I can do maybe some slow-mo from it or whatever, I don't know yet. But effectively, I've got like 3 pieces of really good footage out of that day, even though I didn't actually manage to accomplish what I kind of planned, for the day, due to the fact that my device wasn't loud enough, and obviously that's my lesson learned as well, because for next time, I will need to figure out how I can amplify that music, whether I need a small speaker with me or something like that, to take with me, so it's actually loud enough if I want to do something similar. But anyway, this time I've figured that maybe I will just ask some people that I actually know, maybe, and rather than random people. But whilst I was also there, I sort of shot a few things, just around Manchester city centre, just kind of walking, people on streets, things like that, maybe someone like passing on a skateboard, and I thought it was quite cool. And overall, I think it's going to really sort of enhance, and actually that sort of gave me even more ideas around what the video could look like, really. So I think, so that's kind of like something that I wanted to share with you today. And I actually wonder whether you may have had similar experiences, whether that be with filming a music video, making, writing a song, or maybe something completely different in your life, when you actually planned to do something, so you set out to do this one thing, but actually when you got there or you started doing it, you actually notice, oh wow, well, I cannot do this exactly how I wanted, but actually there's some other things here that I could utilize to my advantage and actually kind of slightly adjust my plan, and maybe actually those new opportunities turned out to be, maybe, I don't want to say like even better, but as good as what you maybe had planned in the beginning. So yeah, please let me know in the comments if that is the case. I would also like you to subscribe to my channel, because it really helps me grow and develop this, for the YouTube algorithm. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.